Good afternoon. Welcome to my lecture on quantum computing with Qiskit. This is an introductory lecture. We'll be talking about how to do quantum computing with the help of Qiskit. I'm Rifatul Islam Himal. I am a quantum computing and Qiskit enthusiast. I get to learn quantum computing in Qiskit. I want to share this with all of you. Then the content of the lectures are what is quantum computing, the definition of quantum computing, the operation of quantum computing, what are the models of quantum computers are there. Then we will talk about physical realization, the application of quantum computers, then the research areas, key research areas of quantum computer. Then we will introduce Qiskit. We'll see what we can do with Qiskit. Then there are some basic gates and its operation with practical implementation. Then we will conclude our today's session. So what is quantum computer? Quantum computer is nothing but a method of computation which utilizes the phenomena of quantum mechanics. The key phenomena are superposition, entanglement, and interference. Superposition is the ability of a quantum system to be in multiple states at the same time until it is measured. When we measure a superposition state, we actually collapse the system. Then the system will either of the two levels. Entanglement is a physical phenomena that occurs when a pair or a group of pairs is generated. Let them interacted, and if they share special proximity in such a way that the quantum state of each particle of the pair or a group cannot be described independently, rather they are dependent with one another. Those are known as entangled states. Even if we put them far apart, that doesn't matter to them. They still act like a single entity. For example, if I have two particles, one has spin upward direction, another one is spin downward direction, and we let them interact with each other. So when they start interacting, they become a single entity. And now if we split them and set them aside, and let's say we put one is in Earth, another one is Mars, or in any other planet, then we start to measure one of the particle. If we measure one, then we will be automatically be able to measure the other particle. That means the measurement of this particle will affect the measurement of the particle in another planet. This phenomena, this entanglement, actually creates a lot of debates among scientific community. However, this bizarre phenomena has great impact in quantum computation. Another important quantum phenomena is interference. Interference is a byproduct of superposition. It allows us to bias the measurement of a quantum towards a desired state or set of states. In 1980s, physicists and scientific communities are trying very hard to do something with this phenomena, and started to think about a computational model for quantum system. At first, physicist Paul Benioff proposed a quantum mechanical model of Turing machine. After that, Richard Feynman and Yuri Marin suggested that yes, quantum computing can outperform a classical computer. Since then, a lot of research has been carried out in this co-evolutionary development of physical and logical system, and up until now we reached an era which Dr. Preskill named as NISQ era, or noisy intermediate scale quantum era, which will be continued as long as we have 50 to few hundred qubit. The noise actually puts a serious limitation in our computation, and because of this noise we have a very limited control or imperfect control over the qubit. This is an interior architecture of a quantum computer at IBM, and at the bottom of this device, this is seriously very cool, and this is created by superconducting qubit technology. Now we'll talk about quantum computing operation. What quantum computer do at very fundamental level. Before going into detail of principle of quantum computing, we first need to understand how classical computer works. So a classical computer runs fundamental 2 voltage level. We denote those levels as 0 and 1. These arrangement of 0 and 1 creates a whole world of quantum classical computation. From watching this video or to do complex scientific computation in molecular level, we need this bit or 0 and 1. In quantum computing, we do have this 0 and 1, but we also have a combination of 0 and 1, which actually allows us to take advantage of complex computation. That is why we get speed up in quantum computation than our classical existing computers. So what actually happens is, if we have 0 state and 1 state, we can have a state which is combination of 0 and 1. That means we can represent a state with probability of 0 and with some probability of 1. This kind of bit is known as quantum bit or qubit. It is often represented in Bloch-Sphere diagram. So in Bloch-Sphere, what happens is we actually manipulate the qubit to the desired result. Say if I have a point which is shown in the slide, like a orange colored point, we want our result to be in this place or in one state. What we do is we apply phase or gate on it, and the qubit will rotate around this Bloch-Sphere until it reaches to our desired state. When it reaches to our desired state, we measure it. But in actual computation, when we address some problem, we do not only work with a single qubit. We have to work with multiple qubit, and the complexity of problem defines how much qubit I need for my operation. So when we understand the number of qubits required for a certain problem, we take the amount of qubit, then we put them in superposition, and after putting them in superposition, we encode the problems in it. Then we apply gate or phase on this superposition state. When we apply this phase, we either get constructive interference or destructive interference. Constructive interference actually amplifies our result, correct result, and destructive interference eliminate all the wrong result. That is how we get our actual result, and that is how a quantum computer works. Then the model of quantum computers. There are a number of quantum computing models out there. Some familiar are quantum gate array, adiabatic quantum computer, and topological quantum computer. In quantum gate model, the computation is decomposed into a sequence of few gates or quantum gates. That means that the model we use here, it actually utilizes quantum gates to reach the solution. In adiabatic quantum computer, which is based on quantum annealing, this annealing process occurs when the computation is broken down into slow continuous transformation of initial Hamiltonian to the final Hamiltonian, whose ground state contains the solution. And in topological quantum computer, braiding of anyons in 2D lattice helps us in computation. For physically implementing quantum computer, there are many candidates out there. The most promising candidates are superconducting qubits and trapped ion qubits. This is the processor here, which shows a superconducting qubit processor and a trapped ion qubit processor. It is at IBM, and in IBM they use superconducting Josephson junction with microwave resonator to build this kind of qubit. Transpond qubit has been used, which is a coupling between capacitivity and Cooper pair, which improves the performance of qubit. Then trapped ion quantum computer is also very promising field in the quantum computing. Other than that, there are linear optical quantum computing, then nuclear magnetic resonator, then semiconductor quantum dot based qubits, then diamond model quantum computer. All of them have been researched and try to be in the race of building quantum computer. Then the application of quantum computers. What are the areas that we can use the quantum computing phenomena, or the thing that provides us advantage over classical computation? In cryptography, there are some protocols. In quantum information science, there are some applications, and machine learning, medicine, chemistry, and simulation of quantum physics are also there. We can look at the properties of molecules by applying quantum computer, applying the algorithm of quantum computer. We also will be able to know the protein folding and many other stuff. The key research area in quantum computing is developing quantum algorithm and optimization, quantum software development, implementing Hamiltonian control with electromagnetic field, and qubit technology. Now let's start talk about Qiskit. Qiskit is developed by IBM and Qiskit community. It is an open source framework for quantum computation. It's a software development kit. It provides us tools to create or to build quantum program and manipulate quantum program accordingly. It is written in Python. What can we do with this tool, Qiskit tool? So we can access the quantum computer, quantum circuit. We can build a circuit, and we can access it, and we can apply the circuit in a real quantum device. That means we can access IBM quantum experience. Then we can mitigate our noise. We can build new types of algorithm. So these are the basic gates which we actually put into operation. There are single qubit gates and multiple qubit gates. Single qubit gates are Pauli gates, XYZ, then Hadamard transformation, phase transformation, pi by 8 rotation, and 2 qubit gates are control node, swap gate, and 3 qubit gates is Toffoli gate. The gates notation has been shown in the middle, and the matrix representation is shown at right side of this chart. Let's see what we can do with this gate in real quantum device. Here we are in IBM quantum experience. In IBM quantum experience, there are ways two ways of implementing circuits. One is composer module, another one is coding module. In composer module we apply our gates. The gates are illustrated here, and the measurement, probability of measurement is shown here, and the block square diagram is shown here. When we apply some gate, this the state of the resultant state will be shown here. So here first we apply Hadamard transformation. So what Hadamard transformation does is it takes 0 qubit to plus state, or 0 plus 1 divided by root over 2. That means 50% time we will get 1, and 50% time we will get 0. That is what's shown here, and this is the block square representation. What is the state of this qubit? Now if we use our X gate, what X gate does, it flips the bit. That means when we have 0 state, it flips the bit to 1 state. That is what is shown in measurement probabilities, and it is also shown in here in Q-sphere. And these are other gates. There are T gate, S gate, Z gates. We can apply these gates and see what are the measurement outcome over here. There are also a coding module. This is the major things where we can do our development, like we do some coding and we build a circuit, and after that we get our result, and we can also apply it for accessing our IBM real quantum device. So before starting all this, what we do is we import everything from Qiskit. We use Matplotlib inline for drawing our circuit, and we use histogram for visualize our result. Let's see some simple circuit, like what happens when we apply X gate to the 0 qubit state 0. So first we call quantum resistor and classical resistor, then we build quantum circuit. We apply X gate in the first qubit, then we measure it. The measurement should be in classical bit. So what happens is, as we said earlier, it flips the bit from 0 to 1. So 100% time we will get 1 here. This is the result from X gate. Like the same we have result from Hadamard transformation. So we say 50% time we will get 0, 50% time we will get 1. Now if we want to build a 2 qubit circuit, what we do is we call 2 qubit in the register. We apply our quantum circuit, we apply Hadamard and CC0, then we measure our qubits in classical bits. So what happens there is, when we apply Hadamard transformation, it becomes 50% time 0 and 50% time 1. So that means it will be equals to 1 over root 2 0 plus 1. Then we use control knot operation. What control knot operation does, it when the qubit is 0 state, it doesn't do anything to the target qubit. When the qubit is state 1, then the target qubit changes state. That means 0 become 1. So what happens is, when 0 is passed in this circuit, then nothing happens. So 0 0 result. When 1 passes through this circuit, then it will the qubit 2, second qubit will change its state, so it becomes 0 to 1. So it becomes 1 1. That is what is the result shown here. We can also see the state vector here the qubit blocks were state. Here we can also see the unitary simulation here, and also we can check our result and in IBM quantum computer, and we can compare it with our simulator. So what we did here is we apply our code to the quantum device, actual real quantum device, and we get our result. Here we see that there are some errors there which shouldn't be here. As the time will go on and the research more research will be done, then this will be mitigated, and this will become as similar as our simulator. So that is actually what we wanted to present today. We wanted to give the basic idea of quantum computing, which is about the fundamental idea of quantum computation, the operation of quantum computation, physical realization, what are the research areas there. Then we introduce some basics of Qiskit, what we can do with Qiskit, and we also shown some applications there by applying some gates and showing some output from our gate. So this lecture is intended to give some basic idea about quantum computing with Qiskit. Thank you very much for your time. Hope to see you next time.